Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. If you are a front-end developer, you must have used these HTML like custom element which are made available to you by third-party libraries like React, Vue, Angular. But if I have to ask how you can do same in vanilla JavaScript, what will be your answer? If you do not have any answer right now, then don't worry. In this video, we are going to talk about same thing. So let's first take a look at this div. So this div is an HTML element which is native and it will work irrespective of the framework like React, Angular and Vue. But this notice component which we are able to use like a HTML tag is made available to us by React. This will not work if we are not using React. So this will not work in vanilla JavaScript. But if we have to kind of follow this architecture in vanilla JavaScript, how would you do this? And first of all, why do we need this architecture? And this helps us to keep our code modular, so we can encapsulate certain stylings and behavior to a particular component, and we can reuse that. So if we have to follow same principle in vanilla JavaScript, if I have to create custom element which can be reused with certain stylings and behavior encapsulated to it, how we can do it? So let's look at it. So let's first understand what are those custom elements. So they are nothing but web components. And what are web components? So web components are a set of standard APIs that allows you to create reusable encapsulated UI component in web application or web pages, right? They are consist of three technologies: custom elements, shadow DOM, and HTML templates. So let's take a look at them one by one. So let's first talk about custom elements. So custom elements allows you to define new HTML tags which can be used just like any other built-in HTML tag, and they can have their own properties, methods, event, and can be styled with CSS just like any other HTML element. Now let's talk about shadow DOM. So shadow DOM allows you to encapsulate these styles and behavior of your custom element so that they do not interfere with other parts of your page. It creates a separate DOM tree for your element which is hidden from main document tree but can be accessed through JavaScript. So when we are coding it, we'll see how we do it, and we'll also see in our developer console how it looks. Now let's move to HTML templates. So HTML templates allows you to define a reusable piece of markup that can be used in your custom HTML element. So they can contain any HTML you want, and that can also be dynamically populated with data from your JavaScript code. So, and last thing I want to talk about is this web components also comes with several lifecycle methods that are called at different stages of the component, such as connected callback and disconnected callback. So they are called when an element is added or removed from the DOM. There are other lifecycle methods which are also called when its attributes or properties are changed. So now that we know what web components are, let's see how we can create them using vanilla JavaScript. Okay. So I have this page. I'm going to use this same to demonstrate how we can create a custom HTML element. So let's go and remove all these code from here, and we'll say div web component demo. I'll get rid of some of the stylings from here which we don't want. Let's delete it, save it. Let's go delete everything. Okay, save it. All right, now let's go ahead and create a app.js.file, and we will include it in our index.html. Let's create a script tag, add the source, which will be app.js. Save it. Now we'll write our app.js file. So we'll start with a class. Let's call it offFrontend. offFrontend, and this will extend an HTML element. We need to define a constructor, and we need to call the constructor of HTML element as well. So we'll call the super. Okay. Now we'll use the API called CustomElement.define to define our custom tag. So I'll call it offFrontend, and we'll pass this class called offFrontend. Save this, and in this constructor method, let's update the HTML. For now, I'll call it I am awesome. Save it. Now go back to our index.html file, and we'll use our newly created custom tag here. Save it. Go back to the UI, and you can see I'm getting I am awesome. Okay, so now that we know our custom element is working, let's try to replicate the notice component that we have over here. So what I'll do is I'll copy this template, and I'll keep it for my reference in here. I'll paste it, and then I'll comment it out. So now first thing is to create the HTML template. So let's call it what is the name of this component? Notice. So let's call notice template. Notice template, and we'll say document dot create element, and let's update its inner HTML. We'll use backtick, and then we'll create our template here. Let's give it a class of box, just like our original HTML original template. We'll add these two as well, the title and the description. I'll get rid of this. This is not supported here. We'll see later how we can update those. And now we need to get rid of this. This is not the recommended way of doing it. So what we need to do is we need to attach the shadow DOM. So the method is attach shadow, and then we need to pass it a mode, which is going to be open, and this returns a instance of shadow DOM. So what we'll do is now we'll access our shadow root, and then we are going to query it. We'll find our h3 element, and then we'll update its inner text with this dot get attribute. So whatever we are passing, whatever we will be passing as title to our custom element will be as title attribute will be added to our h3. Now similarly do it for description. We will be using class selector for this, and the property will be attribute will be description. Now that we have this, let's go ahead and try to pass these two information. So I'll copy this from here. So I have these two pieces of information. I'll copy it, I'll go here and paste it, save it. So I'm passing these two, save it and see what we see on our UI. We don't see it. Is there any error? We do have some error. Cannot set property null of inner text. Let's see. Dot query select h3 this dot row shadow root query select. This shouldn't have any issue. Inner HTML. So we are not getting h3. Let's save it. Where exactly we are seeing our issue? This dot get attribute dot title is not passed. What is the error actually? Cannot set from. This means this we are getting as null. Why would that be the case? Let's inspect once. Web component. This is our shadow room. This is title. So okay, what could be wrong here? Sorry, we did not attach, so we need to attach first the template. This dot shadow root dot append child, because we cannot see anything in our shadow root. We attached the shadow root, but we did not append any child, so we need to append the template that we created, and we'll clone it. We'll clone it deep. Now save it, go back, and now we are seeing our title and description. And now you can see everything is getting attached here. Let's update its styling. We'll also copy these stylings from here, this style, and we'll add it over here. Save it, and now we are getting our styling as well. Next thing what we want to do is we'll attach a button. So let's go here, attach the button. This on click cannot be attached from here, so let's get rid of that. To attach the button and remove, we'll use the callback methods, lifecycle methods. So the lifecycle method that we are going to use is called connected callbacks. So let's find the exact name. It's called connected callback. Yeah, and in here what we'll do is we'll query the button. Once we find the button, we'll attach an event listener, click, and once we have that, we'll say window dot alert, let's say task completed. So this will happen when this node is attached to the DOM, and when this is removed from the DOM, we also need to clean up. So we need to remove the listener. So let's call the remove listener function, and this we need to call on disconnect callback. So let's copy that, disconnect callback. So this is called when element is removed from the DOM. Save it. Let's go back here, click on it. This is working. Now if you look at our notice component originally, it also provides support for children. So here we are able to pass some children's, so we want to add this support as well, right? So let's update our template. Now what we can do is there are some slots and templates that you can use. that you can find over in this documentation as well. Slot and template are two things that acts as a placeholder that you can pass. So let's see how we can use this slot. So we'll define a slot here, slot, and it takes a name. So name, I'll keep it as severity for this one, and another one will be due date. So now we have defined these two slots. Let's see how we can pass them. So go back to the HTML and let's use it like this, and here we'll pass our children's, sorry. So let's copy it from here. So we need to pass these two, and we will need to pass the slots. So this is going to be severity and other one is going to be due date. Save it. Now let's see. Now we are able to get these two as well. So I think we have almost replicated our notice component. So now our front end element is a reusable element which we can use. So let's copy it and paste it again. Update this style, update the text, sorry. Second, let's call it low, let's call it tomorrow, and you'll see we are able to see a couple of them, and they are also reading their text, title, everything from the attributes that we are passing. So this is how you can create your own custom element, and you can encapsulate its style and behavior. That's all for this video. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section. If you have any recommendations for any other topic, please do let me know in comment section. That's all for today. Thank you.